This week's picks for the NFL Week 4. Last week we had a bad week. We both ended up 2-6.
A lot of upsets.
A lot of upsets last week. But hopefully this week we can pick the right teams. Also, please don't dislike our video if we didn't pick your team. We're just giving our honest opinion. So please like us, share the video, give your opinion, give your input, and comment. First game, Saints and the Jags. You know, honestly, I believe that the Jaguars aren't that developed just yet, and it will take some time for them to actually fulfill where they want to be at later on this year. So I'm taking the Saints and this one.
Maurice Jones-Drew hasn't been doing what I expected from him. Blaine Gabbert is not going to be able to keep up with Drew Brees and the Saints offense. I'm going Saints. Now this is going to be a tough one. Minnesota and KC, two beaten teams.
The battle of the teams that are that have not won a game yet this year. Honestly, this was kind of hard for me, and honestly, I took the Vikings in this one.
I went Vikings too. Titans and Browns, I'm going to go with the Titans on this one. I think Hasselbeck has been doing really well, even though Kenny Britt's out for the season. Expect Nate Washington to step up. And Chris Johnson's got about, 97 or 98 yards over 3 games. He's definitely going to have to step it up against this Browns defense.
And I feel that the Browns are actually more developed than people are giving them credit for. They're 2-1, and I believe that they are going to edge out the Titans. That's just I believe the Browns are Titans in this one. Panthers and the Bears. Honestly, I believe Cam Newton has established that he can win a game. The game was very dirty, but you have to look at the caliber of team that they actually beat. Now, I'm going Bears in this one. I believe that the Bears are more developed, and they will pull this off. It's going to be a close one because Cam Newton is going to throw all over the Bears. I believe that the Bears are going to defeat them.
Cam Newton will not throw all over the Bears. Cam Newton's team will not run on the Bears at all. I am taking the Bears at home on this one easily. Steelers and Texans on the early game. I am going to go Steelers on this one. Yes, the Texans have a ridiculous offense, but I believe that the defense wins on this one.
I'm sorry, I believe the Texans are going to beat the Steelers. And not just looking at how the Steelers struggled against the Colts, how they did against the Ravens. I just don't know what's going on with the Steelers this year. I think it's probably the curse that they talk about for the team that loses in the Super Bowl. Like, they always have a bad season. And looking at the Steelers, it looks like they're having that little struggle this year.
Steelers.
Texas. 49ers and Eagles. I'm taking 49ers on this one. And I want you to really understand the 49ers are 2-1. The Eagles are 1-2. Vic he had a concussion. Now his hand is broken. He's still going to play. And I believe it's really going to bother his hand. It's not his throwing hand, but it's his other hand. I believe taking snaps, doing all the things that he has to do is really going to bother him. And he may even go out halfway through the game again like he did the last 2 weeks. And I believe that the Eagles aren't prepared to be without Vic, and they're going to lose this game.
Yes, Vic is having a problem with his hand, but it is not broken. He will definitely be in the game, and they will slaughter the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers have Frank Gore and Vernon Davis. Everyone else, Michael Crabtree's not what they thought he was going to be, or not yet at least, and the defense is mediocre. I think the Eagles stomp all over the 49ers in this one.
It's the 49ers.
Eagles. Easy one.
Redskins and Rams. People gave too much faith into the Rams going into this year, and they haven't produced. Redskins lost a very close one to Dallas last week, and I feel that they're going to bounce back and win this game against the Rams.
I'm definitely going to go Redskins on this one. They barely got beat by the Cowboys last week. They're not going to come out there and let the Rams stomp all over them. Definitely Redskins.
Bills and Bengals. Okay, going by how the last 3 weeks the Bills have been very impressive, and how the Bengals have been putting up a good front, but I just believe all around, as far as offense, the Bills are going to pull this one out.
Yeah, the Bills are rolling this year. I'm definitely going to have to go Bills. I like the Bengals' young receiving core, but Dalton and those guys are not going to be able to keep up with the Bills in this one.
Cowboys and Lions. Okay, I love you, Lions.
I love you too.
I want to say right now you're facing a wounded animal right now in Romo, and I honestly believe this is going to be your first loss of the season, just because of their determination at the moment.
Incorrect. Lions take this one. Stafford goes for 350 or more, and Javid Best has one of his best games of the year against the Cowboys at home. Cowboys at home.
I'm going Cowboys.
I'm definitely going Lions. I've always been a fan ever since Barry Sanders. I'm not going to give up on you.
Giants and Cardinals. You know, Cards, you upset me last week. How you on a fumble? Anyway, different story. I believe that the Giants are going to win this game. Just all around, I believe that the Giants are finally coming together this year, and they're establishing themselves more, and they're going to they're going to beat the Cardinals in Arizona.
Yeah. I could have went either way on this one, but I'm going to go Giants.
Falcons and Seahawks. Okay, a lot of y'all saw my video last week and saw what I said. Honestly, the Falcons aren't as great as people think they are this year, and I'm saying that, and like, even though I'm going with Falcons on this one, just because they're playing the Seahawks, and the Seahawks has probably the fourth worst defense or all around team this year, and that's the only reason I'm going with the Falcons. If they were playing someone who was higher caliber, I would go with them, but I'm going Falcons over Seahawks.
Matt Ryan, what are you doing to me? You're in 3 of my 5 fantasy teams, and you've been doing absolutely nothing. And Phillip Rivers has as well. You have Roddy White, you have Julio Jones, and you have a ridiculously good running back. I'd say one of the top 5 in the league right now, and you cannot put up any points on the board. You better get it together, man, or you're getting dropped on my team. But I'm riding with you on this one. Definitely. Falcons over the Seahawks. Easy. Denver Broncos in Green Bay against the Packers. Even though the Packers running game, they still don't really know what they're going to do with that, because Ryan Grant, who used to be an elite running back, is losing touches to Starks. Do I even have to say it? I'm going to go Packers and Aaron Rodgers over the Broncos. The Broncos have a new coach, and they're not passing as much as they were last year. So, and their running game's not that great, so definitely Packers.
Broncos are so depleted this year, and if anything, they're just going to have a solid front and be one of the teams that you say, okay, I'm playing the Broncos, I'm going to win. And I believe Green Bay is just going to run through them easily. So Green Bay. Raiders and the Patriots. If you look at the both teams, they both only lost 1 game this year, and both was against the Bills. Now, looking at listen, and both games were really, really close. Last week the Raiders beat the Jets. I honestly believe that the Raiders are going to they're going to call this an upset. This is like, and so this is my upset of the week. The Raiders are going to beat the Patriots.
After New England barely gets beat by the Bills last week, I definitely think they come back with some fire, going to Oakland to beat the Raiders. Dolphins and Chargers. San Diego, my hometown. San Diego native, Charger lover. But it's tough being a Charger fan. It definitely is. But I definitely ride with them on this one, even though Phillip Rivers has been nothing to tweet about lately, you know. But they can beat the Dolphins.
Dolphins are just sad this year because there was so many high expectations of the people they picked up in the offseason and so much they were doing. However, I believe that the Chargers are just too much for them this year, and they're going to pick up a victory. Ravens and Jets. I don't believe this is actually going to be as good as people think it's going to be. Honestly, the Jets are not doing what they should. Well, they're 2-1, but they're not doing as well as they should be doing. And I honestly believe that the Ravens are going to just defeat them.
Ravens take it at home against the Jets. I called the Raiders beating the Jets last week, even though he was going for the Jets, and I knew they were going to lose. I think they lose again. 2-game losing streak right here. They lose against the Ravens at the Sunday night game.
Tampa Bay and the Colts.
The Colts.
Tampa Bay. Monday night game, as I said last week, for the other Monday night game that the Colts were on. This was made before the season started, and people had high expectations for the Colts. And this is going to be a snoozer. As Tampa Bay just destroys the Colts. Because Tampa Bay is really, really good this year. As I said, they would win their game last week, which they did.
That's good. A snoozer. I go with Tampa Bay, even though Josh Freeman hasn't been doing what I expected him to do this year. I definitely go Tampa Bay over the Colts.
All right, thanks for watching this week. Leave your comments, like the video. Please share the video. I'm going to put our Twitters right here somewhere or up there somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to play that right now. But at Rawstarr, at TTXOO. Follow us there. Comment on us, and see you next week.